good run is King David. King David is a sports journalist and also a public affairs analyst. King David, thank you so much for joining us on Talk Sports.
Yeah,
today.
my pleasure to be here on Talk Sports. Nice meeting with you, Samuel.
Okay. So, very nice meeting. We'll have that conversation of how we met.
Yeah, good morning to the viewers.
Yes. All right, so let's look at it now so far. The outing, how would you classify what the Tigers have been doing so far?
Well, they've been playing well in Luanda. Who doesn't want to at this time as an athlete representing Nigeria? They've been doing quite well, since going over. I saw the game against Cameroon, but I wasn't particularly impressed with the last quarter, which the Cameroonians took. I think if we come up against an opposition that is biting and better in quality, we might be ruthlessly put to the sword because of that lapses in concentration. But I believe it's a face of a game we can learn from as we take on Senegal today. We need to right the wrongs that we didn't do, and hopefully, yes, we are already there, and hopefully we can continue with the momentum. But the Tigers are doing very well and extremely well.
Okay, so like you rightly mentioned, we saw they started a bit slow with the Cameroonians, but I think got on fire. I think that was the second and third quarter. I think that was when they were able to find a balance, and then they now started off slow. Looking at Okogie coming back from the US, after finalizing his trade with Houston Rockets, or moving from Charlotte to Houston Rockets after finalizing it, what does that tell you about him as an individual and how patriotic he is towards representing Nigeria? Because we have the likes of Bam Adebayo. I don't want to go on with the list of those that were, that plays for the US and other European countries. But him now coming back to play, what do you think? What room do you think that is opening for other Nigerians who are playing internationally?
Obviously, there's an element of patriotism in what he has done, and it opens the door for others who will be interested in playing for motherland or fatherland. And why wouldn't they? On the surface of the earth, if you go to any country, there are Nigerians. So I want to say this emphatically, that it might be very difficult for those who are outside in diaspora to represent Nigeria in their lifetime if they are going to be sportsmen, because the population is extremely high. In Nigeria here, what's the census talking about that we are about 300 million or 200 million. I think we are more than that. Those in diaspora continue to spring out. Everywhere you go to, there is a Nigerian, not just a Nigerian, Nigerians doing well, representing well, getting honors, getting recognitions. So in a lifetime, it might be difficult. So if you could find yourself here representing Nigeria, you have to be extremely lucky. So it means they are not just giving caps to people like it used to happen before. You have to earn it. You have to work hard for it. So exactly as he's opening the door now, others who will come in will have to say, come, when I go there, I need to work so hard because I am rest assured that when I do my own job, on the other side, I will be taken care of.
Okay, on the other side, that taking care of part is actually very, very important. But let's move on a bit from basketball, and then let's go on to the Super Eagles B team as a bout of Chan with Congo win. Nigeria's home base Super Eagles ended their 2024 African Nations Championship campaign with a 2-0 win against Congo, but the victory came too late to keep them in the tournament. Sadly, after successive defeats to Sudan and Senegal, Nigeria entered their final Group D feature in theirs already eliminated Eric Chile's side, however, produced their most convincing display of the competition with second-half strike from Anas Yusuf and Sikiru Alamin, ensuring that they left Tanzania with at least a measure of pride. With nothing at stake but pride, Nigerians started the brighter of the two sides. Inside opening minutes, Yusuf found himself in space after a quick break but dragged his shot over the bar. The Super Eagles B continued to threaten on the flanks through Taiwo Abdulwafiu, whose pace repeatedly unsettled the Congolese full-backs. Congo, who still had an outstanding chance of qualification depending on the result elsewhere, struggled to settle and also flashed a long-range effort but beyond that they offered a little penetration. The match descended into a stop-start rhythm with frequent fouls and stoppage Stephen anyhow. So looking at this now, technically for me, I'm not even excited that they scored 2 goals, because for me, it's just nothing. Like you've lost the pride already when you lost to Sudan. Like that's for me. I don't know about for others, but let me get your take, King George.
Yeah, we should be. The simple thing about it is that you're not going to win every time. So you win some, you lose some. Well, the important thing is that the team continues to grow. You know, that it's the growth we are looking for, is the visibility for which the players have had in this CHAN competition. Whether you look at it, whether they like it or not, they've played 3 games and it's enough for visibility. People are out there watching. Top scouts were out there watching. Where journalists were there watching. People have observed them. You know, yeah, they didn't start particularly too well, but it's no crime losing to a team like Senegal, who are a formidable side. But the one that broke the camel's back was a 4-0 hammering by Sudan. I didn't see that coming
at all.
I think no Nigerian saw that one coming.
Even the Sudanese coach and the players didn't even see that coming, because they came out and then they were not even expecting the scoreline to be like, I didn't even have a problem that they lost to Senegal. You know, Senegal are the current champs, right? So of this CHAN. So I give Senegal is a very, very strong side, you know. But losing to Sudan, that's, like you rightly mentioned, that was what, it didn't even just break the camel's back, it dismantled it.
It almost as if the players were playing against themselves, from the own goal to the penalty concession to this and to that. And I was looking in for a particular person to hammer on, and I said, goodness me, what a performance this is. This was very sad. But putting that behind us, I am excited. I'm happy that they were able to finish on a high, you know, to carry their shoulders out, you know, of Zanzibar, of Zanzibar,
with some measures of pride.
And then Dar es Salaam, Zanzibar for the first 2 games, and then this one they did one in Dar es Salaam, out, you know, of Pamoja. Yeah, they've gone to open the ground for Pamoja, which is going to take place in 2027 for the Africa Cup of Nations hosted in East Africa. So I was excited they were able to win and win well. So with that win now, they can look and say, okay, we didn't give it a good go the first 2 games, but we did well. Let's hold ourselves high. We can regroup and do better in the nearest future.
We'll bring up the highlights shortly about the game between Nigeria and Congo. But let's look at it now. Do you think is it the players' problem or a coaching problem? Because we have crucial matches later in the year, which is a must-win for the Super Eagles. You know what I'm talking about, the World Cup qualifiers. So now, was it a coaching problem or players' problem?
Well, this question is dicey, because if I talk,
talk, please.
I'm given a red card. But first of all, I want to look at a change in personnel.
Okay.
I think if I'm with you for a long time and you have some changes, it might be difficult for some people to kind of adapt. I have blamed the coach methods. I've questioned his tactics, because you can't go in and lose 4-0 and you're telling me the players are not good enough. Who says the players are not good enough? You and I move on the streets of Nigeria and we see quality
everywhere.
In Nigeria, everywhere. People are dying to play football. So how come all of a sudden these players who won a league title with their club for the first time could have been over the moon, to go and win, can't even track the football? Is it the stage? Even when there were rumors of, the Lajis with Baba, you understand, and they are not even going for that. So I found it very, I wasn't pleased at all. I'm thinking the technical team has a lot to answer to that. You cannot tell me the players are not good enough. I don't want to take that. I believe these guys they can't lose 4-0 to Sudan.
They can't.
So is it not the same team that won the last game by 2 goals to 0? So where did that come from?
What happened different?
Well, I believe the results from this CHAN now is a rough patch or a purple patch for the coach. As we move into the qualifiers for the World Cup, I expect nothing short of victory, because we are in a precarious position and we have to try and make it to the World Cup finals in the United States, Mexico, and Canada.
Because we have the quality. So now let's move on quickly and then have this conversation around this controversy. So, David, what's up? What's going on? This stuff we are hearing about the Super Falcons and CAF money, presidency money, and bonuses, all of that. What's going on?
I'll not sit here and the presidency spokesperson from the presidency, but I am a progressive and a strong one from the ruling party. I would say this is what I heard. And what I heard after the promises were made. We know promises from government takes a little time for it to be ushered in. From what I know, seated here, the housing, the accommodation is being arranged very quickly. Not just for the Falcons alone, but for the Tigers.
Yes, the Tigers came out and said that the Tigers got their own rewards.
No, I don't think they have yet. They have, what the Tigers have gotten is the money from the AfroBasket for which they
not
won.
from the president.
Yes.
Okay.
The presidency largesse is yet to get to athletes, but it will get to them. From what I understand is that this money is going to be paid. The $100,000 is going to be paid the equivalent of the naira.
Yes.
That is what I understood. And then the 100K is for the players, and then 50,000 for the technical team.
Each.
Yes, each. That is what I understand. You understand? So for every other thing that you see in the media is unofficial. Don't take it with a pinch of salt, because manufacturing stories is very, very easy.
Yes.
Every other controversy that the Falcons may have had relating to bonuses, allowances, this and that, that was solved once the captain had said and thanked the president in front of the chairman of the National Sports Commission that they were paid their bonuses and allowances. So any other thing that may have come up, probably it's between 1 or 2 or 3 athletes or thereabout, and obviously it's going to be resolved. And then the CAF prize money, I've not gotten that information that money has been released. It's 30% of the money that goes to the winning team. I'm not sure they've gotten that money from CAF as we speak at the moment. So every other thing that you see in the media space is just talk.
Don't just talk anyhow, because cyber art has officially been passed. So mind what you say, mind what you post, because I was going through it and the punishment was like, it's actually funny. I'm taking 5 years, 4 years, 2 years jail time and all of that. I wasn't even seeing the fine that would be paid, but I'll still look at all of that bill properly again. So while we talk sports, let's focus on sports for now, but like I'll still say, mind what content you put out there. Confirm your information before you go on vacation where you didn't plan to. So moving on, let's talk transfers quickly, as Atlanta hits Lookman with a sanction after a failed transfer. Ademola Lookman will face heavy sanctions from Atlanta after embarking on a 2-week training strike in a bid to force through his desired move to Inter. The transfer that automatically collapsed, with talks between players and club now scheduled following his return. The Nigerian forward surfaced at Atlanta's training headquarters, where he met the CEO Antonio to discuss his future after Inter formally withdrew their interest, according to reports. The Nigerian forward has resurfaced at Atlanta's headquarters, and then to continue conversations on what his future would be. The saga had dragged on for weeks, with Inter and Atlanta locked in an intense negotiation. What do you think is actually going on? You know, when Victor Osimhen was about to leave Napoli, we saw a whole lot of basketballs, all of that. Now, the same thing is happening. We all know that Ademola Lookman is a very crucial and integral part of Atlanta. Do you think that's the reason why they don't want him to go to another Serie A team?
Well, for the Lookman situation, he's come out to say he had, a conversation with Atlanta the last time out that so time they would allow him or let him go, this and that. I don't know what's on that contract, but from Lookman's statements, obviously everything hasn't been going well. He's talked about how he's been treated. So let's even leave the contract, this thing, how he has been treated generally. There was a time where the manager, Piero Gasparini, came out, to talk about
Champions League when he missed the penalty. That was
in a way that I didn't really like.
I also didn't like it.
And all that. So I could be asking, is there any other thing that is going on inside that we do not know? Why is the player being treated like this? You need to get 2 sides of the story.
True.
You understand? But this position that he is now, I don't think is good for any player, because he needs to focus on what he knows how to do best. He needs to come back into the training. He needs to play. Even if Lookman wants to force a move, but the first things first, you need to do the right thing with the people who are housing you, with the people who are paying your bills. So I wish the player the very best. He rose to stardom. He became the African Player of the Year he didn't earn it by just mere talk or mere conversation.
Yeah, we saw the work.
It was about focus, hard work, determination that brought him to this level. This is a player we all know that it hasn't been, too blossoming for him when he started. With the rough patch.
We saw the trajectory of how the growth.
He now came to land at a good place with Atlanta, and we all expect that he continues to grow from there. I don't know what Atlanta are doing, and you talked about Victor Osimhen having the same kind of situation.
Yeah, with Napoli.
ADL Aurelio De Laurentiis is a very tricky customer when it comes to the window. You understand? But trying to say Italian clubs are bullying Nigerians and all that, I'm not going to say that. For every player that has an issue, it's not the first. Victor Osimhen is not the first. Ademola Lookman is not the first. And they won't be the last. So they need to resolve it amicably, bring in parties, bring in your representatives. Let's try and resolve this for the betterment of the player, because he's a great athlete and we are looking forward to him to bring in the goods when the World Cup qualifiers set in.
Yes. All right. We'll be going on another quick break, and I'll be bringing on one of our Nigerian basketball internationals who is also in the live studios with us to have conversations around his experience and all, and David will still be here to do the icing on the cake before I let him go for today. So do stay with us. We'll be right back. Yes, a million thanks for staying with us. Now let's get into this other conversation around basketball. I have one of Nigeria's finest basketball players who has played internationally and is still very much in the much actively playing. The person of Paul Solomon Delba. Many thanks for joining us, Superstar Champ. All right, so let's get right into it. Basketball. Why basketball? Let's start from there.
So much discipline around it.
Okay.
It's like a way of life now.
Okay. So far you've played internationally. How has your experience been since you played for 2 seasons internationally? So how was the experience your first year and your second year?
My first year was a little bit rough. I mean, it's a first year. Then my second year was pretty amazing.
Okay. Okay, looking at the journey so far now of your basketball, what would you say has been like your major challenges that you faced?
Going internationally, first challenge I think is communication.
Okay.
They speak different language, you speak different language. So communication was the first challenge I had over there.
Okay. And then moving on now. Okay, looking at it now, how do you think the Nigerian system now will be able to improve, to curtail this challenge now in terms of training and preparation? We saw how amazing you were there with that's a pick and roll that we're looking at over there. If I remember my basketball 101, this looks like a pick and roll between you and one of your teammates abroad. So looking at those challenges now, how were you able to manage the language barrier?
You stay close to your teammates because they are local players too as well. So you make friendship and you communicate with them. That will help.
Okay. Yeah. So now moving on, like you mentioned about challenges, and then there are also around other angles around you advancing your career. So what is next? What's the next step you're taking? I know you just came back home for holidays now. So what's the next step you're taking in terms of advancing further?
So for me, like the next step I'm looking forward to is to play in a bigger league.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Europe. I'm looking forward. France, Germany. Yeah, there are many bigger leagues over there. So my last year was like my starting point. So I know I have like a better chances to.
Yeah, what league was it they played at again?
It's called Azerbaijan.
Oh yes.
That's the name of the country. We played in the Super League.
Okay.
Yeah.
And most of the times I saw a few of your clips, you imagine as one of the top player of the match and all of that. That shows the Nigerian spirit. So let's talk about your workout routines and what rituals. Do you have like what puts you in that mood of like, okay, yes, I'm going to play ball, and why? How often do you work out? And what's like a normal training day for you?
So ever since I go back, I practice like five times a day.
Okay.
And I hit the gym twice in a week.
Twice in a week to just keep it. So like your typical training day is you wake up very early, you train in the morning. So give us a breakdown of how
I
that
wake
works.
up by 6. I get ready by 8. I'm out of the house by 8:10. I'm at the gym pushing weight. By 10, I'm at the basketball court. And after basketball by 12:30, 1, I'm back to the gym to push a little bit of weight. Then I'm home playing video game.
Okay. So like on a normal game day situation now, you have a game to play. Do you have rituals that you do, like a song you listen to, or a book or a movie you watch?
Yeah. So I watch more of Kobe highlights.
Okay.
Yeah. To get me ready.
So obviously Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, is one of your mentors, I would say.
Yeah.
So what is it specifically about his game that you love?
He has the Mamba mentality. He's ready. He doesn't give up. And he always wants to play.
He always wants to play. Yes, we all know that Kobe always wants to play. And we have this one-on-one that we need to play. So when would we have that going? We tell them what I did to you on the court.
They will see for themselves.
They'll see for themselves, right? All right, well, I also really, really appreciate you for taking our time to join us, and we're hoping that you get to get that club that you're looking to represent with. And one quick one before you go to Europe or France now, forget about Nigeria. What do you think about the Tigers? Would you want to play for Nigeria?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm a full-blood Nigerian. I want to represent my father's land and mother's land, and I'm looking forward to playing the Tigers.
The Tigers, okay. Your head is here first. He's looking forward to play for the Tigers. We've just been having conversation with one of Nigerian's finest basketball players who is currently representing Nigeria internationally, and he is doing amazingly well for himself, and we're hoping to get more updates and more bigger stories coming out from the trajectory of how his career is going. I want to say a very big thank you to you for taking our time to join us on Talk Sports. Yes, sir. So thank you so much. So moving on, we still have another amazing player too, who is also going to tell us what his experience has been. But before then, I will leave you quickly with the highlights between Nigeria and Congo, as Nigeria defeated Congo 2-0 in their, would I say, pride game, because that